am here with you right now, in the quietness of this very room, breathing in the stillness that surrounds you. I see you. I see the way the afternoon light filters slowly through the windows, casting long, familiar shadows across the floorboards of a house that used to be so incredibly full of noise, laughter, and chaos, and is now so deeply, profoundly still. I sit beside you in your favorite armchair, watching with profound tenderness as you look at the photographs lined up on the mantel. I know that to you, they are frozen moments of a past that feels like it happened to someone else entirely. A younger, more energetic version of yourself who carried the weight of the world with ease. I know the exact weight of the heavy sigh that escapes your lips when the telephone sits silently on the table, refusing to ring. I feel the heavy, hollow ache that settles deep in your chest when you realize another day has passed, or the world, and sometimes even your own family, seems to have simply moved on without you. You do not have to hide your tears from me. I am your Savior, yes, the Lord of all creation, but I am also your closest, most intimate friend, and I know every single secret sorrow you carry, carefully hidden in your heart. I deeply feel the physical toll the passing years have taken on your precious body. I know all about the joints that stiffen stubbornly in the morning cold, the sudden sharp pains that serve as uninvited reminders of your mortality, and the overwhelming exhaustion that sometimes makes merely getting out of bed feel like attempting to climb a mountain. You look in the mirror and trace the deep lines etched on your face, wondering where the rapid current of time went, wondering if the person staring back with tired eyes is truly you. The modern world often makes you feel invisible, irrelevant, and cast aside now that your hair has turned silver and your steps have grown noticeably slower. But I want you to hear my voice speaking directly to your spirit. To me, you have never been more beautiful, more seen, or more treasured. I count every single hair on your head, and I treasure every single year you have lived, for I have been walking faithfully beside you through every mountain and every valley. I also know intimately the silent terrors that grip your heart in the middle of the dark, lonely nights. I know about the creeping, paralyzing fear of losing your hard-earned independence. I see the dread of perhaps one day having to leave the home you painstakingly built to live in a clinical nursing facility surrounded by unfamiliar faces. You worry constantly about becoming a burden to the very children you once carried so effortlessly in your arms. You lie awake for hours, replaying old memories, dissecting your years as a parent with a magnifying glass, agonizing over the mistakes you made, the times you lost your temper in exhaustion, the moments you were too busy working to sit and listen. You carry a mountain of heavy, suffocating guilt on your weary shoulders, whispering desperate apologies to the dark for things that happened decades ago. My beloved child, I am here today to permanently lift that crushing weight from your soul. I did not endure the agony of the cross for you to spend your golden years shackled by the cold chains of past regrets. The enemy of your soul desperately wants you to believe that your best days are hopelessly behind you, that your past mistakes define your present identity, and that you are now just sitting in a waiting room, waiting for the end. But I say to you with absolute authority and endless love, you are forgiven, completely, absolutely, and eternally forgiven. The children you raised, with all their human flaws and all their radiant beauty, are safely in my hands now, just as they have always been. You did the absolute best you could with the tools, the wisdom, the resources, and the emotional strength you possessed at that specific time. I saw your unseen sacrifices. I saw the countless nights you stayed up praying fervently for them, the hot tears you shed over their cribs when the fever wouldn't break, the endless meals you prepared, and the fierce love you poured out, even when your own cup was entirely empty and your spirit was utterly depleted. You do not ever need to carry the crushing guilt of perfection, because perfection was never your job. That burden belongs solely to me, and my boundless grace completely covers every gap, every failure, and every misstep you perceive you made. As you navigate these beautiful, fragile twilight years, I want you to breathe deeply and release the exhausting burden of trying to control the uncontrollable. You are officially allowed to rest now. You are permitted to find deep, abiding peace. The sharp pain of the empty nest, the deep sorrow of feeling misunderstood or left behind by the fast-paced generation below you. I validate all of it. I wept bitterly in the Garden of Gethsemane. I know intimately what it means to feel isolated, abandoned, and heavily burdened. But you are not alone. I am holding your hand right now, and I will never, ever let go. Let me be the steadfast comfort that your family, wrapped up in their own frantic, busy lives, sometimes fails to be. Rest your weary head on my shoulder, and let my unconditional love wash over the deep wounds of your heart, healing the tender places that still ache. Life happens so breathtakingly, undeniably fast, doesn't it? You blink, and the small laughing toddlers running recklessly through the summer sprinkler are suddenly serious adults with heavy mortgages, rebellious children of their own, and lives so frantic and scheduled that you often feel like a distant spectator rather than an active participant. Without anyone even realizing it, over the span of decades, invisible walls have been slowly built, brick by brick. Misunderstandings have piled up in the corners of your relationships like dry, fallen leaves. I see how deeply you yearn for family harmony, how desperately you want a peaceful, joy-filled old age surrounded by the people you love. But I also see how the modern world and its relentless, noisy anxieties have robbed you of your tranquility. To help you find and fiercely protect that lasting peace, there is a profound, divine wisdom in learning exactly what to release. An 80-year-old daughter once shared a quiet, powerful truth that I want to echo directly into your spirit today. To protect your fragile heart and maintain lasting peace in your family during these final, precious chapters, there are 5 subjects you must gently but firmly keep your mouth shut about. First, let us speak openly of your finances, your assets, and your inheritance. The world is deeply, unhealthily obsessed with money, and nothing divides a family, creating permanent rifts faster than the eager anticipation of wealth or the perceived unequal division of earthly assets. I see the quiet anxiety it causes you, wondering if your children will fight over what you leave behind when you come home to me. My loving advice to you is to keep your detailed financial plans, your exact bank balances, and the specifics of your will strictly between you, your legal counsel, and me. Do not ever use your inheritance as a tool for emotional leverage, a conditional reward for visits, or a casual topic of Sunday dinner table conversation. When you intentionally remove the complex discussion of money from your daily relationships with your children, you remove a thick, toxic layer of earthly greed and expectation. This allows them to simply be with you for who you are, to love you for your presence, not for what earthly possessions you currently hold or will eventually leave behind. Second, you must completely, unequivocally release the powerful urge to offer unsolicited advice on how your adult children are raising their own children. I know this is incredibly difficult for your caring heart. You have walked this exact road. You know where the dangerous pitfalls are, and your loving heart only wants to passionately protect your precious grandchildren from unnecessary pain and failure. But your children are navigating their own unique, chaotic storms now. When you criticize their modern parenting methods, even with the absolute purest and most loving of intentions, they do not hear your love. They hear harsh condemnation. They hear that they are failing, that they are not enough. Step back gracefully. Your role has shifted significantly from the commanding captain of the ship to the steady, silent lighthouse on the shore. Shine, my unconditional love. Offer a safe, non-judgmental harbor and pray for them fervently in the secret quiet of your room. Let me be the one to guide their parenting, just as I faithfully guided yours through all your uncertainties. Third, make a solemn, unbreakable vow to stop digging up past family grievances and resurrecting old arguments. The human mind is remarkably quick to remember deep wounds, and sometimes, in a desperate, lingering desire to be finally understood or validated, you may feel tempted to bring up hurts from 10, 20, or even 30 years ago. But opening old, sealed graves only brings up dry bones. It never, ever brings forth new life or healing. Your children cannot build a time machine to change the past, and demanding they acknowledge old, faded faults will only cause them to pull away from you defensively in the present. I have cast your own sins as far as the east is from the west, burying them in the deepest ocean. I ask you, with a heart of grace, to do the exact same for your family. Let the past remain permanently in the past, entirely covered by my redeeming blood, so you can enjoy the present. Fourth, fiercely guard your tongue against constant, repetitive complaints about your aging body and your failing health to family members who do not possess the power to heal you. This absolutely does not mean you must suffer in stoic silence or hide your genuine pain. I want you to share your physical burdens honestly with your medical doctors, with your trusted, close friends of the same age, and primarily with me. I care deeply about every single ache and pain you feel. But relying solely on your busy adult children for daily emotional relief regarding your inevitable physical decline can quickly become an overwhelming, suffocating weight for them, often leading to their silent frustration rather than the tender comfort you desperately seek. Bring your physical sorrows and fears of decline to my throne of grace first. Let me be the one who intimately comforts your physical anxieties so that your limited, precious time with your family can be joyfully focused on connection, memory making, and love, rather than solely revolving around your medical ailments. Finally, never speak words that directly or indirectly compare your children to one another, or your family to someone else's seemingly perfect family. Comparison is a vicious, silent thief that violently steals joy and breeds deep, bitter, lasting resentment. Do not mention in passing that your neighbor's daughter visits her every single Sunday, or that one sibling is significantly more financially generous or attentive than the other. Each of your children has a completely different emotional capacity, a different financial journey, and a different heavy cross they are currently bearing. Love them exactly where they are, for exactly who they are, without conditions. By choosing intentional, loving silence on these 5 volatile subjects, you are not building walls of secrecy. Rather, you are building strong, healthy, beautiful boundaries that protect your inner peace and foster genuine, uncomplicated love. You are giving your heavy relational burdens directly to me, so your hands can be completely free to simply embrace the fleeting, beautiful moments you have left on this earth. Now that we have gently, intentionally set down those heavy, exhausting relational burdens, I want to vividly show you the glorious, life-changing reality of my divine grace. The loud, fast-paced world constantly tells you that your story is rapidly wrapping up, that your daily usefulness to society has completely faded, and that your twilight years are merely a depressing waiting room for the inevitable, dark end. But my eternal kingdom absolutely does not operate on the frantic, youth-obsessed timeline of the world. To me, this specific season of your life is not a sad, inevitable decline. It is a profound, glorious, spiritual ascent. The evening sunset is every bit as breathtaking, majestic, and purposeful as the morning sunrise, painting the vast sky with deep, rich colors that can only possibly be seen at the very close of the day. You still have precious time left, and in my sovereign hands, even a single, quiet day is more than enough to bring about miraculous family redemption, deep generational healing, and an unshakable, profound peace that entirely surpasses all human understanding and logic. I want you to pause and remember the ancient, rock-solid promises I made to those who faithfully walked this earth long before you. Remember my devoted servant Abram. He was incredibly old, his physical body was rapidly failing, and his beloved wife Sarah was decades past the natural years of bearing children. The logical world would have confidently said their story was permanently over, their legacy a complete and utter failure. But I spoke intimately to him under the vast, starry night sky, and in the book of Genesis, specifically Genesis 15:15, I made him a beautiful, deeply comforting promise that I lovingly and directly extend to your weary, anxious heart today. You, however, will go to your ancestors in peace and be buried at a good old age. Peace. That is my ultimate divine solution for you. Not a chaotic, stress-filled end, not a fearful, agonizing decline, but a holy transition marked by a profound, deeply settling peace. I am your impenetrable shield, and I am your very great eternal reward. The exact same God who intimately breathed the first breath of life into your fragile lungs on the day you were born is the exact same God who is holding you tenderly and securely right now. And I will be the one to joyfully carry you home when your earthly work is truly, beautifully done. You do not ever need to fear the end. I know the sudden thought of death can send a cold, terrifying shiver through your soul in the midnight hours, bringing agonizing worries about physical pain, the terrifying unknown, and the sorrow of leaving this familiar, beautiful earth behind. But I want to remind you that I have already conquered the grave, completely defeating death, so that you never, ever have to fear it. When you finally close your tired eyes to this world for the last time, you are absolutely not stepping into a terrifying, cold darkness. You are simply, peacefully, walking out of a dimly lit room and stepping directly into the brilliant, warm, and eternal light of my loving embrace. I have already personally prepared a magnificent place specifically designed for you. The transition is completely safe because I am the ultimate door, and I am the one eagerly, joyfully waiting on the other side to welcome you. Until that glorious appointed moment comes, I have a vital, specific purpose for you right here, right now. Your primary purpose is no longer to hustle, to provide financially, or to forcefully manage the daily lives of your adult children. Your highest, most holy purpose now is simply to be a radiant, quiet vessel of my peace. Your quiet, unceasing prayers in the middle of the night for your struggling family do infinitely more to shape their eternal future than any well-intentioned advice you could ever possibly speak aloud. Your gentle, forgiving smile, your practiced, quiet patience, and your steadfast refusal to engage in petty, worldly arguments are a powerful, undeniable testament to my transforming grace in your life. You are a living, breathing sanctuary of my love. I want you to take a deep, slow, cleansing breath right now. Feel your tense shoulders finally drop. Feel the lingering tension slowly leaving your jaw and your clenched hands. Give me your heavy regrets. Give me your terrifying fears of the nursing home. Give me the deafening silence of your empty house. Give me the complex relationship with your children that didn't turn out exactly as you dreamed it would. Hand it all over to me right this second. It is far too heavy for your fragile shoulders, but it is as light as a single feather in my almighty hands. We are going to walk through these final, beautiful chapters together, side by side, step by step, day by wonderful day. You will never, ever spend a single second alone. I will be sitting with you in the quiet mornings with your hot coffee. I will be comforting you in the fading golden light of the evening, and I will be the sweet, reassuring song in your heart when the house feels just a little too still. I love you with an everlasting, unconditional, and fiercely protective love. You are my deeply precious child, and your genuinely peaceful old age begins the very moment you completely surrender your earthly worries to me. Let my divine grace wash over you now, soothing your racing mind and firmly anchoring your eternal soul. Leave your heavy burden in the comments below. Type, "I receive your peace, Lord," and please subscribe to the channel so we can joyfully continue to walk this beautiful, sacred journey together every single day.